This lesson talks about the types of concepts and positions. Most all of you have not worked in the hospitality or a restaurant before, so that it's important you understand what the positions are and what the types of concepts are that we work with. If you look behind the scenes of any successful restaurant, you'll see a diverse team of people working to make the whole customer experience happen. Whether it's a fast food restaurant, casual dining chain, QSR or fast food, or fine dining, it takes a dynamic team working in concert to service the customer and provide service to keep customers coming back. That's the whole goal. You have to provide great service because you want them to come back. From the dishwasher to the hostess, each restaurant role forms a link in the chain of support to keep the business operating as smoothly as possible. As a recruiter starting out in this specialty niche of hospitality, it's vital to know the types of concepts and which skill sets are required for the appropriate concept. A restaurant concept is defined. The core menu concept is the main product line of your menu. Italian food, hamburgers, and this will define your decor, ambiance, and style of your restaurant establishment. In other words, the type of restaurant, fast food, QSR, family style, etc. As a recruiter, you must understand the importance of recruiting candidates with experience in like concepts. We're now going to talk about these different types of concepts and common positions within the food and beverage sector. The more information on concepts and position types you can have, the better able you will be to make matches. So let's talk about some of the types. A fast food restaurant refers to companies like Chick-fil-A, Taco Bell, Hardee's, Wendy's, Arby's, McDonald's, In-N-Out Burger, Whataburger, KFC, Long John Silver's. Those are considered fast food. QSR, which is quick service or fast casual, talks about Corner Bakery, McAllister's Deli, Boston Market. Most of these concepts are made fresh. They're not made and setting under a heat lamp with a drive-through window, as opposed to a fast food restaurant. Fast casual generally has in-restaurant seating and makes their food fresh to order. You know, more examples are Payway, Jason's Deli, Chicken Out, Villa Pizza, Chipotle, Baja Fresh. These are examples of fast casual restaurants. Buffet, cafeteria style restaurants. You know, the difference between these restaurants and some of the others is that these have a large selection of food choices, generally cooked from scratch. They would include concepts like Golden Corral, Super Salad, Ryan's Family Steakhouse, Ponderosa, Old Country Buffet, Sizzler, Luby's. Family dining restaurants. The difference between a family dining restaurant and a fast casual, again, it's a sit-down service made to order, and you generally have a wait staff. You always have a wait staff helping you in taking your order. Whereas in fast casual, you generally go to the counter, place your order, and then you pick it up from the window. These concepts would be such as Denny's, Bob Evans, Caro's, Cracker Barrel, Baker Square, IHOP, Friendly's. Those would be family dinings. Now, casual dining restaurant is different in that a casual dining has a bar. They serve alcohol. You know, the family styles we just talked about, the Chili's and the Bob Evans, they don't have a bar. That's why it's called family style. The casual dinings have a bar. Samples of these would be Ruby Tuesdays, Cheesecake Factory, California Pizza Kitchen, Chili's, Applebee's. Any restaurant that has a bar would be considered casual dining. Fine dining is upscale. It's where people go for more special events. The menu is more expensive. They generally have specific chefs, and the atmosphere is generally much more conducive to fine dining than a casual dining Ruby Tuesdays would be. Some examples would be the Capitol Grill, Fleming's, Morton Steakhouse, Chart House, Houston's, McCormick and Schmidt's, Ruth Chris Steakhouse, J. Alexander's. Then we have our sports bar sections. Now, sports bars really are generally casual dining but with a theme, a sports theme. Hooters, Champs Americana, Fox and Hound, Miller's Ale House, Buffalo Wild Wings, Dave & Buster's, Jillian, GameWorks, Planet Hollywood. They generally are theme-oriented and high volume, and generally have a whole lot of sports memorabilia and information, in big screen TVs. Contract food service. These are companies that bid on different, primarily government type contracts. For example, HMS Host bids on the concourses of airports for all of those restaurants that have on the concourses of airports. Sodexo, Aramark, Compass, they bid to get the contracts for university and hospitality cafeterias. So we work with them as well. Fast food generally is different from fast casual, again, because there's a drive-through window and the food is prepared very quickly with minimum service. They often have a drive-through window, and so that the QSR is used to describe restaurants that offer a dining experience similar to fast food in the sense that orders are placed at the counter. Some offer drive-through service and some may offer tableside service to refill drinks. But food typically takes a bit more preparation and select concepts that have scratch kitchens. Some are spin-offs or casual dining restaurants offering a shortened selection of popular menu items from their full-service counterpart. For example, Chili's has a quick casual called Chili's 2. The buffet-style restaurant, now we know that the buffet style is a system of serving meals in which food is placed in public areas and diners generally serve themselves. This is the definition of what a buffet is. I gave you some examples a little earlier. This is a difficult position sometimes for people to fill because you have to understand all these different food types and you have to understand the heat, the temperature qualifications for health department standards. So someone has to be very experienced with dealing with a lot of different kinds of foods. These are generally run with a minimal staff. The family dining is full service, which does not offer alcohol. This is not to be confused with family style. Family style restaurants generally have the larger portions that you share per table and you pass the food around. That's family style. Family dining is sit-down restaurant with waitstaff that comes to the table with a menu of a wide variety of foods. The casual dining restaurants we talked about would be the alcohol. That would be TGI Fridays, Applebee's, Ruby Tuesdays. They offer table service and a full menu including alcohol. Generally, there's no dress code. Some have scratch kitchens. A scratch kitchen means they make things from scratch. Homemade, let's put it that way. Homemade rather than using microwaves. A fine dining restaurant is defined as offering guests a more upscale and exclusive dining experience. They have very high quality food. The ambience and service are the focus. They offer extensive wine lists and staff must be knowledgeable about all the food and the wine. There may be a dress code for guests. I gave you examples earlier of sports bar, but the definition of sports bar is that it's a term used to describe a casual dining restaurant in which alcohol sales make up a greater percentage of business than food sales. If you think about a Red Lobster, they serve alcohol, but it's not really a bar crowd. It's more, they serve more food than they do alcohol. But if you think about a Hooters or ESPN Sports Bar or Buffalo Wild Wings, they generally serve more alcohol than food. All sports bars offer full service and can even have an upscale menu requiring management candidates to have a scratch kitchen or homemade kitchen background. Then we have our multi-venue concepts. These are concepts that provide both food and retail and or entertainment service. We can talk about Dave & Buster's, Jillian's, where they have food, they have alcohol, and they have entertainment and gaming available. The contract food service companies provide food service to various corporate and government establishments. They can be found in airport dining, school cafeterias, and stadiums. So that kind of explains the definition of the different types of concepts and gives you some examples that I think you can easily relate to understand what the difference is between the two or the four. The reason it's very important because our clients want to hire candidates that have a like experience. If you have a casual dining company like Applebee's, they really don't want to hire somebody from Panera Bread because they want somebody that has casual dining experience. So they want somebody from Olive Garden or Ruby Tuesdays or TGI Fridays. So in order to be able to make good matches, because we know that our clients want to hire people from a very similar concept, you have to understand what the concepts are all about. So this should give you some really good insight. Now let's talk about the types of positions that we recruit for. Some types of positions that our clients might want to hire from us. We work all different kinds of positions: director of operations, the regional vice president, the area director of operations, the president. You know, these people are the ones that hold the highest responsibility for the region. Typically, district managers report to them all, and in some small restaurants, general managers may be reporting to the director of operations. This person typically reports to executive staff, such as a senior VP or CEO. The district manager, the area supervisor, the multi-unit manager. These are the people that oversee multiple units in a division or a market. They have several general managers reporting to them. So they may have anywhere from 3 to 12, let's say Taco Bells, or 3 to 12 Ruby Tuesdays that they are responsible for. They have full responsibility for the financial success in their market. And they have to report to the vice president of operations or a regional vice president. So the general manager has P&L responsibility for their particular restaurant, and the multi-unit person has responsibility for their entire region, which is a responsibility for all of the restaurants in their region. The general manager reports to the district manager or director of operations, depending on the size of chain, and has full responsibility for the profitability and the maintenance of the unit. The assistant general manager works directly under the general manager and in the position of the assistant general manager. So guess what they do? They support the general manager. They're responsible for the operation when the general manager is not around. You need to talk to the candidate regarding their formal titles and duties, because sometimes the assistant general manager role is not quite as structured as some of the other roles in the restaurant. Then we come to the assistant manager, the service manager, first assistant, second assistant. This is more of our bread and butter hires. This is more of what we commonly hire for these types of positions. An assistant manager assists the general manager or assistant general manager in the successful running of the unit. They may be assigned to a particular area, such as the bar or the front of house, generally called FOH, front of the house. Some companies have progressive levels, such as first or second assistant. In some companies, assistant managers will rotate from front of the house to back of the house assignments. The kitchen manager is a back of the house position. Obviously, guess where it is? It's in the kitchen. The kitchen manager is the head of the kitchen or the back of the house. If you think about it, this industry is not that tough. It makes sense. There's sometimes, the kitchen manager is sometimes synonymous with the assistant general manager position in the front of the house. Many companies use this position as a stepping stone to a general manager position. To verify the exact level a person is, you should verify their job duties and supervisor's title. Kitchen managers are responsible for everything in the back of the house, such as food cost and scheduling. The assistant kitchen manager, the sous chef, or the chef are all back of the house positions. The assistant kitchen manager assists the kitchen manager. Just like the assistant manager assists the general manager. It all makes sense. Much like the assistant general manager, the assistant managers assist the general manager. They should have profit and loss scheduling, ordering, and inventory skills. Now, some companies have a retail manager. They call it a retail manager. That's a front of the house position because they sell merchandise. Things like, Planet Hollywood, Cracker Barrel, Rainforest Cafe, Hard Rock, they all have a retail end. So they have retail managers that take care of that part of the restaurant, and then they have the restaurant managers that manage the food side. The retail manager is responsible for the retail section. We have a facilities manager who is responsible for the upkeep of the entire unit, such as health and safety standards, maintenance of equipment, etc. In some restaurants, we have catering managers and banquet managers, sales managers, and event managers. Now, this is not just in restaurants, this is also in the hotel industry, and we work with catering houses and wedding venues where these positions may be found. The catering manager manages the special event areas of the restaurant and assists with coordinating, selling, and the management of these events.